Welcome back to NewsWire here on SportsGrid. We've got Dexter Henry with us to break down the latest in the NBA. Good thing that the NBA is now back and playing with, of course, some college hoops. And then soon enough, we're going to have the grand finale to some of the Olympics and then the NCAA tournament. Did I forget anything? Oh, that's right. Major League Baseball opening day coming up month as well. March will be a fun, and golf too, right, Dexter? I mean, we got a fun
March
month
is going to be
coming
fun.
here, right?
Yeah, March is going to be fun, Craig. A lot of stuff going on in sports, so
Always a
everybody
great
should
month.
be excited. Yeah.
Definitely so. All right, so let's take a look at the NBA as we begin the weekend of games again. And man, this is something that I didn't want to see happen again, which is discussions about Joel Embiid being hurt yet again.
Uh,
Another leg injury, maybe for him. We'll see. Tonight, the Hawks play the 76ers with Philly minus 1.5 at home. Total 237.5. This line certainly indicates no Embiid in this game this evening. Do you have a position here? And what do you make of this latest injury discussion with Embiid, who just has not been able to escape this for about 3 years?
yeah, I mean, it feels like the same old situation with the Sixers. People were feeling good about Embiid. He played really well over his last 10 games before he was then out with the injury. We've also seen the Sixers struggle without him after playing at a high level. They got destroyed by the Knicks right before the All-Star break. So you look at that line and you're right, Craig, 1.5, that would indicate to you he's not playing. I know he's listed as day-to-day. So this is a tough game for me when you're looking at it from a betting perspective. I might stay away. If anything, I would look at some props in this game. I would look at Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey has played really well this season. He's averaging over 28 points a game. He has scored over 30 points in 3 straight games against the Hawks. So if you want to take Maxey 30 plus points, I think that's a good value bet for you here. If you want to even go up a little further to 35, sprinkle something on that. I think that's not a bad play. That's a prop I would like.
Okay.
Jalen Johnson's also been playing good on the side of the Hawks. Anything with him, 25 plus points, I would like that as well too. So if I was this game, I might stay away from the line because I could see the Hawks getting the upset, but I would look at those couple of props there. I think those could be good.
Sixers will be fine and they will get in the playoffs, but without Embiid, if that does happen, and we don't know that to be the case, yeah, I mean, I would not be willing to play anything with them except for this play-in. Plus 115, minus 700 to make the playoffs, 12-1 to win the East, and then the NBA Finals, a super long shot, 45-1. Never happened without Embiid there. All right, so let's get to the burner accounts and the Houston Rockets. They are minus 4.5 tonight against the Hornets on the road, total of 216.5, 7 p.m. Eastern start. That guy right there on the left of your screen, Kevin Durant, I feel like usually he takes out some of his frustrations in a game like this tonight. That could be the case as they visit Charlotte this evening. Charlotte, obviously not one of the better teams in the National Basketball. So what do you make of this?
No, but Craig, they have been playing some better basketball as of late with Charlotte. Here's the interesting thing for me. You're right. I could see Kevin Durant, KD coming out and giving buckets tonight. Sure, I could see that. What I have wondered is if this stuff is true with the burner account, how do some of his teammates feel about it? That he did talk, it appears, allegedly, looks like he talked about some current teammates. How do they feel about it and what's their energy around it? So, yeah, if you want to sprinkle some money on KD having a big game, yes. I think the Rockets win this game. I think they cover. I think what's interesting for the Hornets is they're still without Moussa Diabate. They're still without Miles Bridges. So if you want to look at something for them, I would look at Ryan Kalkbrenner. Rebounding, I think, could be good. Somebody's got to step up and get some boards for them. His line is around, you'll see some books, 5.5, 6. You can take the over with him on there. He's got to get boards for them. I think it's a good matchup for him. So I think that's a good prop. But I would take the Rockets to cover in this one pretty easily.
Very strange situation tonight in Madison Square Garden for the New York Knicks because it's just a simple game here in February, but it feels like in order for people to have confidence that the Knicks can get deep into the postseason, and I'm not talking about just winning one round, I'm talking about winning 2 and 3, they probably have to win this game tonight to gain the attention of the fans because they're 4.5-point favorites against Detroit, a team that everyone seems to think has very deep playoff aspirations, total 220.5. I'm not even talking about covering the game here, Dexter. I'm talking about winning the game. Show that you can beat one of the better teams in the East, or else you're going to have 3 straight losses against Detroit. January, early this month, and then tonight one more time.
Yeah, it's not going to be a good look for the Knicks if they lose tonight. I think they win tonight. I'm very confident in the Knicks playing well tonight. I think they know this is a big game for them. Look, how much can you take away from this game? There's still no Jalen Duren in this one. He will not have played in any of the 3 matchups against the Knicks this season. The Knicks had some players out last time. There was no OG Anunoby. There was no Karl Anthony Towns. So the second matchup was tough to gauge, but you don't want 3 L's, like you said, to the team that's at the top of the conference. I think it's a huge game for the Knicks. I think they will respond. They've been playing really well. They've won 10 out of the last 12 games. The defense is looking a lot better. I think they respond tonight in front of the Madison Square Garden crowd. I also would take a strong look, especially with no Jalen Duren in this game, Mitchell Robinson. I expect Mitchell Robinson to have a big game on the glass. His rebounding line, most books are at 7.5. But I will go, you want some value? 10 plus rebounds for Mitchell Robinson tonight. I love that. I would say jump all over that. I think Mitchell Robinson has himself a big game on the glass. And I think that could be huge for the Knicks, and they're pretty good defensively. I expect the Knicks to cover that 4.5. So if you like that too, I would rock with that as well.
Let's go out to the Western Conference. I see the Spurs here 7.5-point favorites over the Suns. So you'll have to educate me here, Dexter, on why this line does feel a little high, because Phoenix playing good basketball. I'm not sure that they're going to beat San Antonio. And I know, look, you got to get out of the Spurs way right now. They're playing great. I get that. Total 229.5, 8:30 p.m. Eastern start, but feels like a big number for two teams that are sitting in the playoff mix right now.
It is a big number. I think Dylan Brooks is still going to be out for this one. That could be a little bit of shift in it. It is a large number. I don't love that line because Phoenix has been, if anything, if you watch Phoenix this year, they've been gritty. They've been really competitive. They've been able to muck it up. And I think that's really good. And then the other thing is Devin Booker, and this is the thing I would look at in this game. Devin Booker has played very, very well against them. He has scored over 26 points per game against them. I think it's just 26.8 in the last 7 games. So if you want to take him 25 plus points, I'd look at Devin Booker. This is a fantastic matchup for him. If you want to look at him and sprinkle a ladder it, 30 plus points as well. I think that also could be really good when you look at it with Devin Booker. I don't love this line. Can the Spurs cover it? Sure. I don't love it. It's always tough with teams coming out at All-Star break. I think the Spurs, they know they're a couple games behind the Thunder. They played really well. Do I think they want to make a push? Yes. I think Wemby is encouraged for the guys to make a push. But I actually wouldn't be shocked if somebody wanted to take the Suns plus the 7.5 points here. I don't think that's a bad bet, but I really do like Devin Booker, 25 plus points, 30 plus points. I think that's a really good value bet for you there.
By the way, Wemby's point total tonight in that game, as you mentioned, 22.5 over on the FanDuel Sportsbook. 11.5 rebounds, 2.5 blocks for Victor Wembanyama tonight. If you're looking at FanDuel, those are the odds for him. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to figure out what course the Clippers are taking at this point. I'm not really sure. I felt like they were on this nice run, team chemistry there, and then they just punted, feels like, by moving James Harden, who I think is going to be really good for Cleveland. Denver -4 tonight in LA, total 225.5. Jokic now, I would believe, close to full strength, if not at full strength tonight. Denver's one of those teams that we have to watch as the season comes to a close because we know that they're going to be in the mix in the end.
Yeah, and with the Clippers, Craig, it feels like Kawhi is on the island. We saw him ball out in the All-Star game the other day. Kawhi was very impressive, and he's had a fantastic season. I think when you look at the Clippers, if the Clippers record was better, but he's still James Harden, you would be talking about Kawhi as an MVP candidate. He's been one of the best players in the league in terms of how he's been playing. He's been fantastic, but he just doesn't have the help right now. So in terms of this game, and you talked about Nikola Jokic starting to get back to form. He didn't play much in the All-Star game the other day. I think this is probably one of the safest spreads in terms of covering for the night. I like the Nuggets to cover the 4 points here, even on the road. I think the Nuggets are very motivated. I think they're motivated to lock themselves into a top 3 seed here in the Western Conference. They do not want to drop down to 4. They do have some other teams breathing right down their neck. So they really want to do this. I love the Nuggets to cover here. This is probably the spread of the night that other than the Knicks, I would say I'm very comfortable in them covering the road 4 road teams. So give me the Nuggets -4 in this one.
Never thought anyone would pass Oscar Robertson's all-time triple-double number, but then Russell Westbrook did it at 207, and next season, Nikola Jokic has 184 just behind Russell Westbrook. Break that next season. Dexter, enjoy the games tonight. We'll catch up next week.
Will do. Thanks, Greg.